This is my reaction to the UFC 316 press conference, which just took place, featuring Merab Dvalishvili, Sean O'Malley, Julianna Pena, Kayla Harrison, Joe Pyfer, Kelvin Gastelum, Patchy Mix, Mario Bautista, Kevin Holland, and Vicente Luque. I'm going to go through all of the moments. It also featured Jon Anik and not Dana White, which really annoyed me because we got a question from a media member about the petition to strip Jon Jones, and we were owed as MMA fans to have Dana White up there being asked that, squirming, not knowing how to answer it. That would have been absolute cinema, and we needed it. But however, Dana White does not show up to his job anymore whatsoever. So Jon Anik filled in again. This was one of the shortest press conferences of all time. In fact, I think this was the shortest UFC press conference of all time. This was a 13-minute press conference. I checked. From the moment that they started asking questions until the end, it was like 13 to 14 minutes. Normally a 20-minute press conference is short. This one broke the record for the shortest UFC press conference of all time. Wait until I get into what Julianna Pena and Kayla Harrison were saying about each other. The voice of Kayla and Julianna Pena's accusations against Kayla Harrison, and what you will not believe what you hear when I get to the Kayla Harrison, Julianna Pena trash talk breakdown. It was insane. It was absolutely insane to hear. So, we start with this. Merab and O'Malley keep it respectful at first, and Merab is yapping. Not really yapping as much as he normally does. Now, Merab has been saying that his weight cut was really bad for this, and he's been very open about how tough his weight cut has been. So he's not yapping. He's actually ending sentences without people having to give him some kind of look or cut off his microphone or distract him quickly with something else. So he's saying things like, everybody, go to win, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I go to win the fight and not get KO'd by him. And very good game plan by Merab Dvalishvili, by the way. Revolutionizing the game. Really, I think he's spilling the beans too much. Like, he's revealing too much of his game plan here. Saying, I'm not going to get KO'd by him. And he's screaming about Sean O'Malley. And they're being respectful. And Merab starts saying stuff like, we can be friends after the fight, but we are enemies again today, you know. And he starts going off about that. Now, Sean O'Malley responds by saying, no excuses for last time, but this is going to be a different fight. No excuses from Sean O'Malley here. In the promo, there's a ton of excuses from Sean O'Malley, but in the press conference, there were none from Sean O'Malley. Now, Kevin Holland notices that Sean O'Malley is not given an excuse. And he senses a famine, like an excuse famine, just across the table from him at the same press conference, where someone just doesn't have enough excuses for why they lost. And now Kevin Holland is overflowing with them. He's overflowing with excuses. So much so, he gives Sean O'Malley an excuse for him anyway. He notices that Sean O'Malley's not giving one, and he's like, well, I've got some to spare. I've been storing him up for the past 7 fights. He chucks O'Malley a, you had an half night. You had an half night that night. And then O'Malley goes, I had an half night? I had an half night, I guess. So he just takes Kevin Holland's excuse that was laid up towards him. Shout out to Kevin Holland, dude. We could all use a guy like that, just ready to just chuck you a spare, a reserve excuse. He's been saving that one from, like the Anthony Hernandez win. Somehow he had an excuse for it. He just chucked it out towards Sean O'Malley, which, by the way, is a very well-aged win for Kevin Holland over Anthony Hernandez. Either way, we get into the crazy part of this press conference. Kayla Harrison and Julianna Pena. Out of nowhere, and this is the craziest trash talk I've ever heard in my entire life. Julianna Pena says, yeah, quit getting rowdy over there, Kayla, or your cock might fall out of your dress. And she starts saying that to Kayla Harrison. Now, you might think that's crazy, but when I tell you that Kayla Harrison delivered one of the most bone-chilling lines back towards Julianna Pena ever said at a press conference, she literally got up, cleared her throat, and said, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass live on pay-per-view, buddy, and starts screaming. Even after the press conference was over, she's up there on stage going, oh yeah, baby, yeah, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs, screaming at the top of her lungs on stage, and Julianna Pena's like, I've never seen fear like it in a women's MMA fighter. She's like, oh my God, I was joking. This is real. And he's like, yeah, try not to choke on your Adam's apple, bitch. And she starts going after her. And then Kayla Harrison, I'm going to make you choke on my cock in that cage Saturday night, live on pay-per-view, buddy. And everyone is shocked. Sean O'Malley is like scooting his chair away from Kayla Harrison as she's going off on this. And even Kevin Holland is like, oh my God, I'm going to need a 45-70 for this one. Kayla Harrison is going off. Going off, Julianna Pena. You're fucking... I know, we all know what you are, Kayla. You're not tricking anybody. You can have the best surgeons in the world. And she's revolutionizing the trash talk game for women's MMA. And then out of nowhere, okay? Literally, I've never seen this before. Patchy Mix, who's all cool and nonchalant, isn't it? This new nonchalant Patchy Mix that's up there at the press conference, he hands Kayla Harrison another microphone and a chain and a set of Dior shoes or something along those lines. And Kayla Harrison gets up and starts rapping, Billie Jean, cause of Dior, I'm up in all the stores. And Kevin Holland is doing like the background part of it, and she's like, Machiavelli, Billie Jean, and she's going off up there on stage about Dior's, and I'm up in all the stores, and all of this stuff. And it's absolutely insane from Kayla Harrison. I've never seen more fear in a fighter's eyes than Julianna Pena's during this, and it was just harrowing. I was scared. I was scared watching it. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was actually terrified watching it. And I don't know how Julianna Pena is going to deal with that mental warfare from Kayla Harrison. So really looking forward to that fight. No, but seriously. They went back and forth at each other. Kayla Harrison starts off and says, what did Kayla Harrison say? You're just a chihuahua barking, buddy. Nothing but a chihuahua barking. I don't have no problem with you. It's going to be tough to get under my skin. And then she says that. And fumble and Freudian slip, you know what I mean? And then Julianna Pena says back, not even your chihuahua likes you, Kayla. And that's that part of it. And then Kayla and Pena start going back and forth nonstop and how they could best each other. And how are you going to beat me? You're not going to beat me. Your best chance is to hold me down for 5 rounds. That's all you got. And that was Julianna Pena's line. And then Kayla Harrison says, you got no chance in there with me, pal. You're 11-5. You lost more fights than I've lost rounds, buddy. And then starts going off like that. And it's just actually hard lines from Kayla Harrison. You've lost more fights than I've lost rounds. And it's actually insane that Julianna Pena is 11-5 and is a world champion. Nay, a 2-time world champion in the UFC. Absolutely insane. Sean O'Malley switches eventually to saying that no one will care about Merab again after Saturday. Out of nowhere. I think it was because Merab said out of like, oh, no, you're not humble anymore. You're faking being humble, blood. And he's screaming and getting a bit riled up about it. And Sean O'Malley says, then in response, because I think it was because Merab said he was going to break him out there. So O'Malley's like, okay, if we're shit talking, I'm going to say that you're going to be irrelevant after this weekend. No one's going to care about you after I'm done. No one in the crowd even heard because Sean O'Malley refuses to turn his voice up above a certain decibel level. But I think he was just doing that because he didn't want to get like attacked by Kayla Harrison for like trying to have a more masculine voice than her. So yeah, that was that. That was between Sean O'Malley and fucking Merab. And then Merab says, you fake humble the whole time. You have to, and I got to have to humble you again, brother. Let's go, New Jersey. Hey, thank you, everybody. We're going to win, brother. And he's screaming, and he's not yapping. Merab is not, uncharacteristically, Merab is not screaming, yapping, full of emotion for this fight like he's being counted out. And I swear O'Malley's going to win this weekend because of it. Jon Jones strip question to John Anik. Now, some guy in the crowd with a very fitting pink shirt on, by the way. Okay? Just to really let you know. Okay? That was like a hidden little wink to Jon Jones, that pink shirt. That was him paying homage. So he gets up in the crowd and he asks Jon Anik, hey, there's a petition online and it has 100K views, 100K signatures, 100 and something thousand, and it's to strip Jon Jones of the belt. What do you think about that, Jon? Should have been asked to Dana White. That would have been a perfect moment for that to be asked to Dana White. And then Jon Anik says, we of course, I do not have any inside information on that. But you know, I think the fight is bigger between Tom and Jon if both of them have a belt on the line. So I don't have any inside information on this, but I'm thinking that Jon Jones is going to come back in December. And now we have to, so we're going to wait until fucking December, are we, Jon Anik? Fuck you. Should have been Dana White up there answering those questions and squirming. I wanted to see Dana White go, what? What do I think about a petition? I mean, come on, guys, a petition? Come on. I was just with Steiny from Nelk. You know what I mean? I was expecting Dana White to have a moment like that, but we're never going to get it. He's hiding away because he knows Jon Jones' questions are coming, which is smart of him because he'll be humiliated. Next time he steps on stage, he'll be humiliated by questions. Okay? Anik says that Jon Monton's bigger the belt and all of that. Holland at the face-off with Vicente Luque. I mean, what else happened before I even get onto the face-offs here? Joe Pyfer said something. I don't know what Joe Pyfer said. It's going to be a barn burner. Or something along those lines of like, it's going to be a fucking barn burner, man. And Kelvin said, yeah, man, this is a big one. And there's a reason why we're here on the card where we are. And that's Kelvin's input. And that was that. And then Vicente Luque said he's born in New Jersey. I didn't even know Luque was born in New Jersey. So maybe that will give him some more aura for the fight this weekend. Kevin Holland called out Colby Covington. He wants an easy fight. He was mentioning Bilal Muhammad. If he wins this one against Luque, he's going to want to fight Colby Covington next. He wants the easiest welterweight on the roster. And Patchy Mix. I got to talk about Patchy Mix a little bit as well. Dude, he actually has some aura to him. There is some promotability there for Patchy Mix. Mario Batista's getting booed. Everyone's booing Mario Bautista for what he did to Jose Aldo. Okay? We all know what he did. Kind of felt bad for him for a second, but no. Okay? Mario Batista's getting booed. He goes, you hear that? That's all the attention on me. And that was his way around it, of being booed. And then Patchy Mix was getting cheered. Patchy, which is insane. Because they weren't cheering really for anyone else. So they're cheering for Patchy Mix. And Patchy Mix is up there dressed as like a... How was Patchy Mix even dressed? I feel like Patchy Mix was dressed like a European chav up on stage. I swear to God. He was only missing like a Ralph Lauren pouch bag or some kind of Lacoste pouch bag with Rizzlers and Grinder and Chip in it. And he would have been the absolute spitting image of an absolute European chav. If he had a cigarette behind his ear, he would have been an Eastern European chav. Just like that, based on his fashion sense. So he's up there on stage saying, I'm 20-1. I've got the best fucking record up here on this stage. I'm the best here. And this is my home. And he starts going off about all this. He's really talking his shit. So I respect Patchy Mix for it. I'm a 3-time world champ. And he starts going off and interrupts Jon Anik, who's like selling the crowd on Patchy Mix. And yeah, we know all that. I'm here. This is my home and I'm here to make it my home. So Patchy Mix was putting it all on the line. He was like selling the fight, promoting the fight. So shout out to Patchy Mix. He's been saying a couple good lines as the fight goes on. And that was Patchy Mix and Mario Bautista, basically. And yeah, that was the press conference, really. I mean, literally we're 13 coming into 14 minutes into the video. That was the length of the press conference. So there really isn't much more to say. Other than that, we get to the face-offs. We start with Luque and Holland. Holland is saying something like, sex is usually better afterwards, right? I don't know what Holland is saying up there on stage. Sex is usually better afterwards, right? He says sex is usually better afterwards. And Luque goes, huh? And he goes, sex, it's better afterwards. And he goes, that's a weird question. And he looks at I don't know, Holland's just trying to psych out Vicente Luque, maybe. Jon Anik's laughing in the background. Ha! Ha! And that's it. Kevin Holland's done with his face-off. Patchy Mix is fucking massive for bantamweight. I thought Mario Bautista was a big bantamweight. Mix mogged him. Little thin, small head. Very scrawny for the division, but he's a tall dude for bantamweight, and he's not scrawny. I take back the scrawny sense. He's not really that scrawny, and he's a big dude for the bantamweight division. So, Yeah, that's something to look out for, dude. Patchy Mix looks pretty intimidating out there. Other than that, Joe Pyfer, Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, Gastelum's just a fat bantamweight, if we're being honest. Joe Pyfer absolutely is twice the size of him and probably has twice the amount of muscle mass that Kelvin Gastelum has. I think that fight's going to be one-way traffic and an immediate win for Joe Pyfer in the first round, but we'll see. Julianna Pena, Kayla Harrison. They're up there on stage, getting in each other's face. I don't know if they said anything at the face-off. Julianna Pena's looking pretty hot, you know, in a teacher kind of way, if you know what I'm saying. Where they shouldn't really be hot, but they kind of are in a weird way, you know what I'm saying? Keep me back, give me a detention, bitch. Give me a detention. And she's up there on stage posing, and then Kayla Harrison, I shit you not, is up there. The Hulkmeister or whatever, just up there going, oh yeah! Yeah, baby! Oh yeah! And everyone in the crowd is like, what the fucking, what is this? Like, what is actually going on stage? And Kayla's like, oh yeah, baby! Yeah, it's my time! And starts screaming that at the top of her lungs. And that's that. And then Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. Sean O'Malley got in his face and just said, it's a different fight this time, buddy. And O'Malley goes, hey, what to say? And Merab actually misheard a few things at the start of the press conference. So we could be looking at a situation where deaf Merab Dvalishvili is a new mythical fighter. So that's the breakdown of the press conference. Hopefully it was more entertaining than the fucking press conference. Enjoy the content. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I've got me and Demetrius Johnson are doing a show together. The Mighty Guru Show. First episode's on Monday. We're going to be recapping the UFC 316 pay-per-view. We're doing it every month, and we're recapping every pay-per-view. Me and Demetrius Johnson, a show. It's official, the Mighty Guru Show. So be sure to tune in on Monday. It's on Demetrius Johnson's channel. The Mighty, I think it's, what's it, Mighty? I think it's just called Mighty Mouse or Mighty. So it's on Demetrius Johnson's YouTube channel. Be ready for it on Monday after the pay-per-view. We'll be doing that from now on for every pay-per-view. MMA Guru, dude. 7 years ago in my room, young MMA fan. Never thought any of this. And now I've got an MMA show and podcast with one of the GOATs of the sport. Absolutely insane the way things have turned out. I feel like I'm living in a simulation sometimes. Thank you guys for the support. See you later. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. Yeah.